Wait a minute. Are we saying more strategic than sending an invoice out when the work is
When
done?
the job's done.
Okay. I want to hear about this.
That's probably one way to do it, right? Good evening, YouTube. Thanks for tuning in to the ProfitDig Construction Show. We're glad you're here with us. As always, this segment is sponsored by ProfitDig.com, the world's best bidding and costing software. Probably the cheapest for the price for what you get with those features. Check us out at ProfitDig.com.
That's right.
We'd love you to check us out. Also, we make these videos talking about different topics. I'm here with Chris Work. How you doing,
Howdy.
Chris?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Fantastic. Now that you're here.
Love to hear. Oh,
And I'm
thank
here
you
with
so
Jeff
much.
Spencer.
What's up, Jeff?
Jeff.
Yeah,
Chris?
it's a good name.
Awesome. How you doing?
Oh, good.
Well,
Fantastic.
We were talking about maybe some different invoicing strategies you could use, and maybe there's some that you're more familiar with, Jeff, but there could be some others out there that might be advantageous depending on your needs.
Wait a minute. Are we saying more strategic than sending an invoice out when the work is done?
When the job's done.
Okay. I want to hear about this.
That's probably one way to do it, right?
Yeah, it's a little tough when you start bankrolling somebody's job. You start talking construction, you got to get your monthly draws to pay your help, to pay your materials, and so on and so forth. I know a lot of contractors. I've worked with a lot of contractors over the years. A lot of them like to bill a good chunk up front. Find something they can bill for.
Like a percentage?
Percentage, yes.
Yeah.
And then, you have what I call aggressive billing. You're aggressive the whole time. You're always overbilling a little bit, sometimes quite a bit to keep money flow in to operate on, which if you have to, that's fine. But what happens is you get down to the last month and a half, and you're out there working. And if you don't have a good bankroll of money, or if you don't have, cash on hand of some sort, line of credit, whatever it may be, then you've used up your money for that project. So now, you're paying everything out of pocket because you've used the money that you've already billed for.
So you're billing another job for cash flow to get this job done.
Yeah, exactly.
Vicious cycle.
And it happens. It's kind of a vicious cycle. It is, and it does happen. That's one thing kind of come back to haunt us in our business. When I was in business myself, we got into the habit of overbilling, trying to get money to operate on. And I said then I would never put myself in that situation again, or put, if I'm working for someone, put them in that situation again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now, I know I'm very conservative on my billing, and the guy I work for, he doesn't, always like it, but I still do it because I can bill for our cost, for our labor, our equipment, materials, fuel, all of that we've used for that month. I bill only for that, and I will add a little bit of profit to it. Not much, maybe 4 or 5%, just to have a little money in the bank, to cover everything. And then at the end of the job, when that job's finished up, if nothing goes wrong, then you get a big balloon payment. Mm-hmm. You just finish everything out and bill it whenever you're 95% complete. Go ahead and bill 100% of the job. Mm-hmm. And then you get this good check in, and then it's like, man, this feels good. I'm not having to call my banker to see where I can come up with money to pay for this thing, get the last month done.
Yeah, the job is done, money's in the bank.
Right.
Yeah, everybody's happy.
And, here in Tennessee, a few years back, excuse me, I think it was in 2005, 2006, they used to, state law was whoever you're working for, they had the right to hold 10% of your money on each draw for retainage. And retainage is just money they hold to make sure you come back and finish the job. Mm-hmm. So that was really hurting a lot of contractors because that's their profit each month. They hold that 10%. So then they reduced it down. I think it was in 2006, maybe 2007, to 5% in the state of Tennessee. Other states are still 10%. A lot of other states are, but in Tennessee, it's only 5% since then. And that way, that gives you some operating capital each month, to where that, you can pay your overhead, your bills, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever needs to come out of that, you've got that money to do it with. If you're a one-man show and you've only got one project going on, then, you really need to strategize your billing, to make sure that you've got enough money to operate on, enough money to pay your bills, enough money to pay your payroll for the next month, or whoever you're working for, what's their billing schedule? You get paid 30 days after, you get paid 45 days after, is it 60 days? And you've got to take that into consideration when you're billing to make sure that you got enough money to operate on for that amount of time. If you've got multiple jobs, 5, 6, 7, 10 jobs going at once, then it's a lot easier to strategically plan your monthly billings.
That makes complete sense. And does now the client's payment schedule, does that have any influence during the bidding process?
Yes and no.
I guess it depends on the size
but
of your company, maybe, if you're a smaller
if you
guy.
got someone that you've been working with and you know what their contracts read, in which it may vary from owner to owner. You may work with this GC on a regular basis, but the deal he made with the owner may be different than the last owner.
Okay.
And so when you get your contract, you need to be sure and look in there, that most of them will say that you will receive your check within 30 days or 45 days after they receive theirs. So if it takes them 30 days to get their check, then they've got up to 30 days or 45 days to pay you. So you may be 2 months out or better before you receive your check.
So they get to earn interest for a month and a half.
Most of the
on
time,
all
that's what they do.
jobs
Yep.
Before they're paying out.
Most of the time, that's what they do. Put it in like an escrow account.
Yeah. So, well, in that case, then it's really, really important to kind of strategize your
Yeah.
invoicing,
And it's really important, and that's what, one of the reasons ProfitDig was founded was so to help smaller contractors to figure out what their work costs them.
Right.
Because you can't bid a job and make money if you don't know what it costs you to operate.
Yeah.
So if you know what your monthly cost is, weekly cost, monthly cost to operate your business, it makes it a lot easier to know how much money you've got to bring in off a job every month.
Absolutely.
Track those costs.
Track
those
the cost.
costs.
It's
That's it.
very important.
Well, fantastic.
I was curious, any other invoicing strategies that may be very common?
That's just the ones that we typically deal with. I'm sure there's other ways, depending on what kind of industry you're in, that can vary. But just that's the most common stuff, that we do in my line of work in the construction industry.
Okay.
Well, sounds like a good plan to me.
All right. Well,
All right.
appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah, enjoy it.
I brought us in.
Absolutely.
I'm taking us home.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm sorry. Sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a good rest of the day.
Hey, check us out at ProfitDig.com. This episode was brought to you by Busch Light. It actually wasn't, but if Busch Light or Anheuser-Busch, if you're interested,
Or Coors Light, either one.
reach out to us at info@ProfitDig.com.
Yep.
All right. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank
See
you.
y'all.